Welcome back. Our today's session will be on disaster recovery plans. So we would understand, recovery point objective and recovery time objective, recovery strategies, recovery alternatives, development of the disaster recovery plans, disaster recovery testing methods, and invoking disaster recovery plans. So what's an RTO and what's an RPO? So recovery point objective is a data point that until which you would possibly ensure that the data loss is not there. So if I say my recovery point objective is 2 hours, that means if that 2 hours, so I am actually recovering data every 2 hours possible. So in case there is a slippage between 2 hours, I mean in case there is a disaster which strikes between that time, I will have lost the data. So at 10 o'clock, if I have taken a backup, my next will be at 12. In case there is a disaster which strikes at 11:59, so I will have lost nearly 2 hours of data, 1 minute less than 2 hours of data. So that's a recovery point objective. A recovery time objective is it's the time, basically it's the time element by which you would actually have the services running. It's the minimum time that you would require for the application to be running. You wouldn't have all the features of the application possibly, but a basic minimum skeleton feature which would allow the people to work on it. That would be your recovery time objective. Recovery strategies. So recovery strategies. So that will again it will depend upon the amount of cost is involved, the criticality of the applications or the systems which are involved out there. I mean, which is the data basically, the time that you would require to recover, the security which is involved, and then based on that, you would have the various sites coming up, which you would see in the subsequent slide. So you could have, these are the recovery alternatives. So you could have a cold site where you have the basic minimum structure ready. Maybe you would have the room and sitting places and also to that extent. You would have a mobile site where the mobile van would come near. Possibly it would not be a static thing, and it would be a mobile van kind of a thing which would be there. A warm site which is more ready than a cold site, but not absolutely ready. A hot site, it would possibly have the OS and other things running, the latest versions and all, but it would still require some amount of time to be up and running, absolutely. And a mirrored site is a replica of what actually is happening at a live site and what is happening at the DR. Mirrored sites, obviously it's very costly, and you would possibly want to use it where the applications are absolutely critical and where you wouldn't afford any downtime, because where you could possibly afford some amount of downtime, you would possibly go with a hot site also. But with mirrored sites, you are looking for a place where there is no downtime. You could have a reciprocal arrangements. You could have reciprocal arrangements, with other organizations. Okay, similar kind of organizations where you could say, okay, if something goes wrong at your place, I would, allow you to come and you could use this. Very less people use it, but yes, as a this thing, it is there. You could have contractual plans and procuring alternative hardware. You could, keep your alternative hardware ready at some point of time. So development of DR plan. So how would you develop it? So you would first actually work on the IT DR contents. You would first understand the DR scenarios, disaster recovery scenarios, and of course your contents would actually cover that. You would have the recovery procedures, and you would have an organization, and you would assign proper responsibilities to them. DR testing methods, you would have a checklist review. You could just see, okay, these are the steps which I'm supposed to follow. Do my people know this? So you could just, interview people, or you could have a session, a brainstorming thing, kind of a thing, where you would just see through it. Yes, everyone is aware of that. Structured walkthrough, which could be more structured than the one which we just discussed. And a simulation test, it would again be a paper test kind of a thing. You could have a parallel test where you could be running it in a parallel system, whereas the live system is as it is. And you could have a full interruption test where you could actually run it on the live system. Again, you would actually go through the test results, review it, and see if you have any learnings coming out of it. Now, when would you invoke the DR? So there has to be in the DR uh, document, you would actually have a proper mention, a proper place, which would say, yes, this is the point where you are going to invoke the df flag. So those things need to be defined and a proper procedure needs to be followed. With this, we come to an end of our session of today. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.